Hi and welcome to my morning report analysis videos on Monday 19th of November with me, Rich Perry, market analyst at Hantec Markets. We've still got a lot of factors that are still driving these markets. Brexit is still a key factor for the UK, certainly for sterling anyway, and gilts. Uncertainties over the weekend continue to drive a little bit of uncertainty in terms of how sterling is moving. We've got prospect of a possible leadership challenge to Theresa May, but that hasn't yet materialised, so sterling is a little bit higher this morning, but if that does materialise, you can imagine sterling will come back down again, so watch out for that. Then you're looking at how the Italian budget situation is developing. The EU are expected to respond this week on Wednesday, so there's a degree of uncertainty as to how the euro is travelling. And also the dollar. Let's have a quick look at how markets are positioned today. There's a slight improvement in sterling, a little bit of dollar underperformance against the yen, although another factor being at the weekend there was an APEC summit, and there was no agreement or communique that was able to be put out and agreed by all the participants, and that's because China and the US disagreed, basically. So subsequently we've seen risk appetite falling on the commodity currencies. You can see Aussie and Kiwi lower, a bit of yen outperformance as well, which is certainly a key a mover on that. And also what we're seeing is the dollar has been slipping back in recent days. Interesting, because treasury yields are lower, and treasury yields fell on Friday as the FOMC's newest member and member of the board of governors, Richard Clarida, said that neutral rate on dollar rates was about 2.5 to 3.5%, and the US should be now data dependent. The Fed should be data dependent. So subsequently, we saw that as a dovish move, and the dollar got hit, yields lower, dollar lower on Friday. That sort of continued into today, pretty much. Equity markets bounced a little bit on Friday, but there's been a bit choppy in recent days anyway. And European markets, for example, earlier the DAX was 70 ticks higher. It's now basically flat on the day. So again, we're seeing DAX rallies being sold into. Watch my DAX analysis on the website, and you can see what I think about that. Some interesting moves that we're seeing early this week. Now, in terms of data points today, nothing really. You've got the NAHB, National Association of Home Buyers, at 3 o'clock in the States, expected to tick slightly back to 67. But again, nothing too decisive there. But that's pretty much all we're looking at for today. Now, my chart today is the dollar, Canadian dollar. Now, the CAD has been a little bit of a strengthening, more on the fact that the US dollar had been corrective in the last couple of sessions, but it's interesting to see that the market has pulled back to this uptrend, found support to the tick on Friday, 31.25, which is where that uptrend came in. That uptrend now travels at about 31.30, but its support is still holding. Now, the concern I have here is that if these momentum indicators are basically on the brink, they're on the brink of either turning back or, I suppose, regaining their upside momentum again. Look at that RSI 52 turning higher, which is around about where it turned higher early on in November. MACD lines coming back towards each other, which suggests it's either going to be a cross or a bull kiss. So a bear cross would again be negative, and that would suggest we're going to be breaking down again. That would be sort of reopening the 30-50 area of support. Look at the stochastics. They are travelling lower, but then arguably starting to sort of stabilise a bit, but they are not especially positive at the moment. So it's a mixed set of momentum indicators. So this uptrend becomes really important, and how the market responds. At the moment, it's responded positively today, and that's again looking in the fact that oil has ticked a degree or so higher, but has just lost a little bit of impetus today. And it'll be interesting to see if that happens on a continued basis, or the fact that the market is looking at the APEC meeting and has seen risk appetite just slipping a touch. So very interesting crossroads we find the dollar, Canadian dollar at. Now, if the market closes above 31.75, which is this blue line here, the old breakout, I would say that's a bullish move and starts to regain impetus back towards the highs again. But as I said, again, it's sort of at a crossroads and it's very interestingly poised. So obviously good luck in your trading today, and I will speak to you later.